welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques,
Jacques,
what up, folks? What is good, everybody? Hello, everybody here in the chat.
Yes,
What
sir.
good? What's happening, Jacques?
Man, I can't call it, bro. I can't call it, man. Same. Getting ready for this anxious. I'm anxious.
Yes,
Getting
sir.
ready. I'm ready for this week to be over with. So my work week needs to do like this. We all just waited Tuesday. Let me go to sleep and wake up on Saturday, and we there. So
absolutely. Oh, we got a super chat. All right,
yes, sir. We got LG.
LG Part 2.
Hey, he says won't be able to join the show tonight. Tighten up from everyone. Thank you, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Let's begin our road to the Super Bowl. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, bro.
Yes,
Gotta give
sir.
LG Part 2 the horn, bro.
Let's give him.
Let's get it. LG Part 2. We appreciate the super chat. I know you're not watching the show at the moment, but once it's recorded, man, check it out, man. We're giving you a shout out today, brother. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's go through this chat and see what we got. We got what? Won't they cut? Hey, tighten up.
Bengals, yeah.
Cincinnati Titans. Hey, tighten up. He said we built to beat the Bengals. Should be a fun game. Yes, sir.
Yep.
D09. What up, brother? Motivation. He says, calm down, the Bengals fans. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Yep.
Johnny Ball, tighten up.
Okay.
Kent Woods, tighten up.
Big
Titan TV. If you ain't checked this show, Titans pod out, go check it out, man. Great stuff. Shout out. Rocky you. What up, bro? What up?
What's good?
Pig
Wickle, what's good?
Tighten up. DeAndre, bro. It's even worse, man. I just checked Ticketmaster. It gets worse. It's like a mess, bro. They think we the New York Knicks or something. Tighten up.
Tighten up.
Captain Trips, tighten up, baby.
Tighten up.
Hey, Bagley, what up, brother? What
tighten
up?
Up.
Coda, what up?
What up?
Hey, TA, salute for the tweet, bro. Tighten up.
Tighten up, TA. Check the show out, folks. Check them out.
Yes, sir. Mark something. Tighten up. Me, tighten up. Jake Young, I hope you're feeling better. Hey, I tried to get a ticket. They said 1,000. Yes, sir. Hey, I told you, bro.
I feel you, brother.
It's hot, man. Killer Nation. Tighten up. Jeremiah. Hey, right, Jeremiah. What up, brother?
What up, Jeremiah?
What up? Let me see the clanky spoon. He said,
Hey.
What up, brother?
What's up, Frat? What's good?
I tighten up. Stanley. What up?
Stanley. What's good,
Stanley, come on now. Say it. What up? Tighten up. William Jones, he says,
tighten the F up, baby. Yes,
go.
sir.
Craven Howard, tighten up.
Yep. We gonna talk about it, Craven.
Hey, Bryce, tighten up.
Tighten up.
Tighten up.
Sir.
JP, tighten up, baby. Tighten up.
So, yeah, we got 38 people in the chat. Make sure to hit that like button, folks. Hit that like button if you have not subscribed. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well, too. And, Jacques, man, before we start the show, of course, today is MLK Day, man. So I want to give a shout out, for Martin Luther King on Martin Luther King Day. Today was a great day. Hopefully everyone, was able to enjoy the day, maybe doing something for the day or whatever. I am a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. He's in the same frat as well. So shout out to MLK, man. Shout out to everybody out there enjoying this MLK Day for Titans, man.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
One more shout out. Titan Tiger, 1,000. Texas in the house.
Yes, sir.
Tighten up. Keisha. What up, Keisha?
Keisha Bible, what is good?
Are you going to the game, Keisha? I wonder if she's going to the game. I don't know. Cool. Captain Trips, tighten up.
MLK, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Jay Peasy, what's popping?
K Wheel in the building.
K Dub, what up? So, the Cincinnati Bengals, folks, are coming to town on Saturday. The game will be at 3:30 Central Standard Time. The Cincinnati Bengals, as they say, who they say they're going. I don't know if they say who they say they're going to beat the Bengals. We know the Saints say who that, right. But who they nation. I've been checking Twitter, and they're ready. They're talking a lot, and that's a good thing. And in the playoffs, they're excited. It's been rare of late for the Bengals to make the playoffs. When you look at the standings as well, too, as you all see, we are the 1 seed. We were on a bye this week, getting our mind right, getting our bodies right as well. We do play the Cincinnati Bengals, and so this is going to be a great game for us, a great challenge for us as well, too, Jacques. So, the Titans will be ready. They'll be ready. Definitely. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Before we get started, man, we got JJ in the building. Tighten
JJ.
up. Keep Burrow off the field. Yes, sir. Aaron Smith, tighten up.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, Jacques, I want to ask you a question. And for those in the comment section, too, y'all, like, if you have comments about these questions, man, throw that on there, too, man. We'll post them up here as well, too. So Cincinnati's coming in with the victory over the Oakland Raiders. They came in as well as the home team, 26-19. Joe Burrow with a few touchdown here and everything. So coming into this game, how can we beat the Cincinnati Bengals, man? We're so far they have us down as the favorite. I'm not sure what the line is right now, but for you, sir, how can we beat Who Dey Nation, bro?
Okay, so definitely let's get into it. Let's get into meat potatoes. Okay, first we know they got that boy Joe Burrow, right? The LSU guy. And they got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. They got a slew. They got a stable, man. They got a stable, dog. They got a stable of receivers, right?
Yep.
But when that offensive line is mediocre, when you run up against a good defense, okay, you can have problems, right? Now, we know what their offense can do. We know Burrow and the Jamar Chase relationship is real. It's like an actual relationship, right? He can throw with his eyes closed. Jamar comes through the middle. He'll catch the ball, right? That's what he does.
Yes, sir.
So how do you beat the Bengals, right? One, it starts in the middle. It starts in the trenches, okay? Their O-line is not strong, okay? And quote me, anybody in the chat can tell me, statistic-wise, I believe Joe Burrow is in the top 5 of sacks, of most sacks quarterbacks this year, okay?
Yep. 1 or 2, yes.
1 or 2, okay, exactly. So when I look at that, and I look at our front four, the last time we played them, y'all remember the last time we played them in 2020, right? Now, Hawk, I know you got the stats, right?
Absolutely, I do.
Pull the stats up for me real quick.
Okay, yes, sir.
If you don't mind, and while you're doing that, I'm pulling something else up too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we look at these stats the last time we played them. We lost 31-20, and that was a game we went in confident. Everybody's like, well, their offensive line is trash, blah, 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 blah. We knew it, right? The typical Titans thing to do was to go in there and lay an egg, and we laid the egg. But statistically, look at those stats. We outgained them. We even had a turnover. But it was one stat, and Hawk, credit to you, time of possession. They kept our offense off the field, okay? And they took advantage of their opportunities when they need to. Well, let's fast forward to 2021, okay? Now, we know this is and by the way, before I get there, 2020's defense was trash. The worst third down defense to ever make it to the playoffs.
Facts.
Couldn't rush the passer, couldn't get to Joe Burrow. So if you leave Joe Burrow back there with a clean pocket, he's going to pick you apart.
Yep.
He's going to pick you apart, okay? That's what he does. But now what did John Robinson go and do in the offseason? He upgraded our defense, specifically that defensive line, right?
Yep.
Autry, Bud Dupree, Harold Landry's playing at a high level, Jeffrey Simmons. We need them to step up in a big way because the defenses that they've played this year with a defensive line, and I'm going through their schedule just to look, because they've had some losses, people, and they've lost. So don't think the Bengals are this high. They've had some bad losses. But when I look at their schedule, I would say the 49ers has a good D-line when they played them. The Ravens has a good D-line, but they're all banged up in everything, right? This is going to be their best D-line they've played all year, okay? Then you got 2 missing pieces, right? And I know people looked at the Texans game. It was like, well, our defensive line looked lackluster, blah, 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 right? Tierra Tart and Naquan Jones, specifically Tierra Tart. When those two are in there, Jeffrey and them tend to eat a little bit more. So to me, you're going to have to win in the trenches on defense, right? Okay? And that's on defense. And if you can win in the trenches and get pressure on the quarterback, that relieves pressure for your DBs. That's when you can play that deep zone and that big zone defense that they play when they play Miami. Because if we go back and look at the Miami game, they had weapons too. But we played that heavy dime, and when we play that heavy dime, you get in those passing lanes and you just play zone with them. Second, Jamar Chase. Don't let Jamar Chase go off, right? Now, we know Christian Fulton. Now, if people don't know this, Christian Fulton and Jamar Chase went to high school together. Of course, we know they went to college together. Now, Hulk, can you bring up that Twitter post?
Yes.
I think I sent you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, guys, you take a minute. I don't know if y'all have heard this story. You can read it, screenshot it, do what you got to do, right? Well, to sum it up, Christian, iron sharpens iron. Everybody's heard that term, iron sharpens iron, right? Me and Hawk do it all the time. Iron sharpens iron.
Right.
That's how you get good. That's how you become great, right? When you read this and you see how much respect Jamar Chase has for Christian Fulton, it's unbelievable, okay? It's unbelievable. For him to say, okay, he wins some, I win some, but most of the times it's usually him by at least a couple of points, that speaks wonders, right? So when you ask, you say, okay, how are the Titans going to play this? Are they going to put Jamar on Fulton on Jamar? What do? There's another caveat to this. Now, they got T. Higgins on the other side, right?
Right.
Who guarded T. Higgins in the national championship back in 2019?
That boy Fulton.
Exactly.
Yes,
okay?
sir. Yep.
Exactly. Because I hear talk that our secondary is average. They're average. I'm like, okay, I know Fulton can't do it by himself, right?
Right.
But if I can take the pressure and I can have him and say, just lock that down over there, you good. I can put all my attention to this side of the field and say, hey, Jackrabbit, please don't get burnt. But if you do, we got your help, right?
Yep.
Let's go to the offensive side of the ball. So you asked me how we can beat the Bengals, right? I gave you defense perspective. On the offensive side of the ball, block, right?
Yep.
So today we got some good news, okay? And it's not good when a player gets hurt. Let me say that. I'm going to put that out there. It's not good when a player gets hurt. But Ogunjobi is out for the rest of the playoffs, okay? And that was their top defensive run tackle, okay? You take him away and you add the king to that element. We don't know if Trey Hendricks is playing, right? He got a concussion, but I feel like he's going to play. So I'm more prepared like he's going to play. But we know how concussions are. They're very infrequent. Head injury, Hawks had some, I've had some. We know how it is, right?
Yep.
So when I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, hey, offensive line, only thing you got to do is block, right? Just block. Because you're telling me that Akuzie, their other one corner, and what's the other corner, Hawk?
It's Eli Apple.
Eli Apple is going to be able to contain A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. And then you got the king running down, and their linebackers are not strong. They're not big linebackers. So offensively, you should have a field day against Cincy. So I would say this, keys to the game. Create turnovers on defense, get to the quarterback, right?
Yep.
On offense, time of possession, keep their offense off field, block, and establish the run early to open up the pass, you'll win this game. What about you, Hawk?
Dude, those are some great points. Everything that you stated are some awesome points. Awesome points. More than anything, too, man, when you look at Cincinnati's defense, their run defense is middle of the pack, right? And I think the key of it, too, is in the trenches. And I think a few folks in the chat have said the same thing. And I mean our offensive line versus their defensive line in particular. Their defensive line is average at best, if not below average. And I think Cincinnati fans would agree with that. They right now are dealing with some injuries right now. You know, as we mentioned, Ogunjobi is hurt. He's out for the playoffs. That's huge. That's their best, that's probably their best D tackle. Hendrickson is their best defensive end. He's probably their best defensive player, him or Bates, right? Give or take, right? Hendrickson is banged up right now with a concussion. So I think more than anything, can our offensive line block at the end of the day? Okay. Cincinnati on offense, they're gonna do some pretty good things. Okay. The Titans are at times will allow yards. Okay. It's a matter, can we keep them from scoring touchdowns? When Burrow played us last year, Burrow had a great game against us. He did. And nowadays, when you look at it too, with our particular team, defensively, we're in a situation where we can do some things differently than we did last year. And I think more than anything, too, we can rush the passer. That's what's going to be interesting, okay? Cincinnati's offensive line, they got old Quentin Spain out there, right? Mm-hmm. The former Titan, right? Yep. And, you look at Williams, their left tackle. That's their best offensive lineman. He's going to have his hands full with Bud Dupree. He really is. Williams is a bigger tackle, not a speed tackle. So more than anything, Bud Dupree should gain some leverage against him. The Raiders did a pretty decent job on them offensively and defensively. The Raiders, the Bengals had opportunities to say, hey, Raiders, if you want the game, there it is. You can have that. They can't do that against us. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs ran for over 80 yards. Now, hear what I just said. Josh Jacobs, right? Josh Jacobs is a good running back. He ain't no Derrick Henry. Can Derrick Henry be healthy? Will he be on the field? That's going to be huge for us in running the football. Deontay Foreman, same for him as well, too. Deontay Foreman has had some success as well. Cincinnati's linebackers are, you got Logan Wilson and Pratt. Who? Right? So on our side of the ball, too, defensively, as you mentioned about Christian Fulton and Jamar Chase, that's going to be an interesting matchup. But I think that's going to work itself out so much to where it won't be such a problem. I think Cincinnati's going to try their best to try to throw the ball deep in the air. I think that's what they're going to try to do. And I'm telling you, it's going to be on our safeties to make those plays on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow can throw the ball, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. But you can rush him and sack the quarterback. For most of the season, he was number 1 in the NFL and getting sacked. Tannehill was number 2. They were always interchangeable, right? So I think for us on defense, can we rush the passer, right? Are we able to make that happen to get to Joe Burrow? If we do, I'm not worried about Joe Mixon running the ball. I'm not worried about it. Not worried about it. But I will say, are we able to rush the quarterback at a high rate? If so, we're winning this football game. On the other side of it, can we run the ball against their defense? If we do that, we're going to win this game convincingly if we can run the football and slow down the tempo of the game. Keep the offense of Cincinnati off the field, and we can make this thing happen.
Facts, no paper. Play keep away ball, because you keep them off the field, you're going to make them rush to try to score a touchdown. Hey,
that's right.
That's some of these comments. Hey, the Clanky Spoon Julio going off. I can see that. I can definitely see that with their corners. I'm telling you, it's going to be a point where they're going to get exposed. And it could be with us where they probably get exposed. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Correct. Yes.
JJ said it. They will bite on play action, especially when establishing a run. And guys, remember, a lot of those players we have on our team now were on that team when we played the Bengals when we lost. So don't you think a little revenge is in the tea and mixing right now? Don't you think Tannehill's like, oh, we ain't gonna let this happen again?
Right.
Let's see what we got.
Yep. We got 77 people in the chat, folks. Who's excited that we're in the playoffs, man? I know I am. I've been all weekend just trying to figure out who we're gonna play, man. I was fine with whoever. I'm excited that we're here and we're the 1 seed and we're at home. And so, we got to take it game by game. We have to handle the Cincinnati Bengals. We are the favorite. We got to get this victory at the end of the day, man. Yep.
Right. We got to keep the offense off field. So, how are we gonna move on to the next segment, right?
Okay.
And we know there's a thing called fear, right?
Yep.
And optimism and all this stuff, right?
Yep.
Let me just blatantly say, are you scared of the Bengals? Do they have you shaking in the boots? Are your toes curling in the night? Are you like a scared child with a blanket and the boogeyman is in the closet? Are you scared?
Man. So, before I answer that, I will say we do have a special guest that should be coming on the show here pretty soon, and that's New Stripe City. They are the Cincinnati Bengals podcast. We did a show with them last year, man. They'll come on here in a minute. We'll bring them on as well, too. So, want to let y'all know that as well, too. So, am I scared of them? Okay, so I can dissect that question. Scared is like fearful. Oh my gosh, I'm scared, right? Oh my gosh, we won't do well in this situation, right? The other side of it is, am I concerned? Okay, so if I was scared of something, I would say that, like, yeah, I'm very concerned. I think that's gonna be a problem. I think more than anything, the concern would be more for, can we stop Jamar Chase? Okay, I think that's gonna be the biggest concern. Jamar Chase is a beast. He really is. He's a rookie. Against the Raiders, they couldn't stop him. Anytime Joe Burrow threw him the football, he made plays. That is my biggest concern. I think defensively, I'm not too much concerned of the Bengals. The one guy that plays pretty well is Bates. He had a good game against us last year with an interception. And I even told y'all before the game, I said, man, Jesse Bates is pretty good. Kind of an underrated guy, right? He's a gambler. You can, if he will go for fakes because he tries to go for the interception a lot. But I think offensively for us, I'm not as concerned. But it's when it comes to this guy here, Jamar Chase, if you guys are not, aware of this guy, dude is a beast. And can Christian Fulton, if they have him lined up against him, former high school teammates, will he be ready to guard Jamar Chase? That'll be the question. Now, do I think Jamar Chase will probably get a touchdown? Probably so. Is a matter, can he get over 100 yards, 150 yards? That's what we got to be careful. It's a touchdown can happen. We're in the playoffs, ladies, and we're not gonna be, it's gonna be an automatic shutout. The Titans don't normally play like that. We don't blow people out. We battle everybody, man. And sometimes frustrating, right? We'll beat the Chiefs and it'll be 25-24, and then play the Jets and lose 26-24. So, for right now, it's keeping Jamar Chase at bay. I think that's the biggest concern that I have. If he goes off, we're not winning this football game, ladies and gentlemen. We got to keep him at bay. You know what I'm saying? So we got Ace Boogie in the house.
Yes, sir. We do.
Ace Boogie. What's good, bro? What's happening? Go ahead and add him onto the stream.
Yes, sir.
Ace Boogie.
Let me fix this real quick, bro. Oh,
all right.
Let me. There we go.
Ace, I think you're on mute, good sir.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on,
Ace?
Chilling, man. Good to see y'all boys, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. You as
likewise.
well. You as
Yes,
well.
sir.
New Stripe City in the building, folks. In
Yes,
the building.
sir.
So, Ace, if you want to take a chance, man, to shout out about your show and everything, bro, we appreciate you coming on to the show, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm glad to be here with Titans Weekly. I did a show with y'all last year. Glad to be back. Glad to see y'all brothers doing y'all thing, man. I'm always about supporting my fellow YouTubers, especially in this NFL community. But right now, you guys, like you said, New Stripe City. I've got that channel going. Been doing that since 2016. We took it to another little level this year. We also added the Orange is the New Black with my partner Zim. So you guys probably see that's what most people see from my channel is me and Zim. So that's why I was a little late. I was actually talking to Zim before we hopped on, just like you guys had your partnership. But you can find all kind of Bengals content there. My voice is a little raspy because I was at the game this past Saturday.
Yeah.
But we also have merch. I got this beanie that I got on now. It's been blowing up because Joey B decided to wear it one day, and it's just really going up ever since then. So this is what we call the Trace Amigos beanie. I'm actually going to do a release for some of them tonight, and then we'll be taking pre-orders, but the shirts have been going up. You can find those at newstripecity.com. Cool. And it's just been a blessing, bro. Like, honestly, Joe is just a special dude, and not even just Joe. I got to give credit to Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd was the first person I saw that wore it, and Chase was the first person that posted it showing love. So
that's
just
dope.
big shouts out to all of them, and we rocking, man. So you can tap in and find me there. We do all kind of interviews, all kind of podcasts, all kind of things over on New Stripe City.
Hey guys, Ace has interviewed some top-notch Bengals, man. Ace has done his thing. Did y'all do an interview with he's a comedian. What's his name?
Gary Owen.
Gary Owen.
He's from Cincy. That's
right.
right.
Yeah. So and I've seen the growth, guys. If you don't know, last time we did that show, y'all have blown up and exploded in growth, man, ever since then. So salute y'all, man. And like you said, man, we gotta support, dog. And when I seen Joe with the shirt, and when I follow you on Instagram and Twitter, I was like, Ace. I said, man, that's dope, man.
That is dope. That's a picture of the shirt there, y'all. For those, the link is in the bio as well too. For anyone that would like to check out the shirts, man, the shirts are dope. This was Ace Boogie here on an interview there. They're in the Cincinnati area. Again, Joe Burrow was rocking the shirt as well too. I think that is dope, man. Good dude, good stuff, brother. Good stuff.
Appreciate it, man.
You growing, bro.
Yeah. Hey, y'all growing as well, man. It's good to see y'all growing and everything too, man.
Yes, sir.
Much love.
So I got Hawks answering this. Ace, I'm gonna hit you with your first question, brother. You know how we do on our show.
Right.
So the fear factor.
Right.
Are the Bengals scared of the Titans? Are y'all fearful of the Titans, or are y'all concerned? Talk to us.
Are you saying the Bengals, the team, or the fans?
Just the both.
Just
how
both?
How are y'all? Yeah.
I would probably say like the feeling in the city, whether it's the fan base, whether it's the team, is that they're really not scared of anybody. Like, honestly, like I feel like that was part of what Zach Taylor brought to contribute to changing the culture in Cincinnati, right? Because before there was a little bit of timidness, whether it was with Marvin Lewis, whether it was with Andy Dalton as the quarterback, there never was this like confidence. And they kind of try to call Joe Burrow cocky, and I think that that's the wrong word. It's really more about confidence and them kind of taking a lot of the LSU culture with him and Jamar Chase and those guys and bringing it to Cincinnati. But not only that, you've got those two, right? And you got all of the guys from LSU. But then Zach has really made an effort of drafting guys from winning programs, captains, and recruiting free agents from winning programs and captains with guys that have playoff experience and stuff like that. And so the thing that I can point to even last season, right, when we beat the Steelers without Joe Burrow, it was that guys there were like, Steelers, we beat the Steelers before. Y'all never beat the Steelers before. And it was just like that change in the mindset to where people, when they came in, it wasn't even really a big deal for them. So like, even if you play close attention to Joe Burrow, when he got the playoff victory, he wasn't even excited. He was just like, all right, this is like, I done won national championships and I done went in the trenches with the best of the best out of the SEC. Like a playoff game doesn't do it for me. Like that's not the standard. And so I think when you get in that situation and when he wore that shirt, that's why it was so, I feel like, important, because a lot of people, like, it's kind of a quiet message. As you guys know, you guys slayed the Giant as well. The Chiefs are the team to beat, right? They've been to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. They got Pat Mahomes, who everybody feels like is the best quarterback in the league. And it's like, nah, we're not bowing down to y'all. Like, it's not that. And I feel like when he wore the shirt, what that was about is everybody's talking about Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and rightfully so. Those dudes are talented. But it's like, nah, we got some dudes too over here, like that can really get with y'all. So I would say that the whole culture has changed, and I don't think that that they're scared. It's just that, you know, we feel like we can go toe to toe with any team, and I think when they really did that against the Chiefs, that really locked them in to be like, all right, we can do this. And I think Joe Burrow even spoke on it, and they asked him, when did he know that this team was special? Because there's been levels to all of this. The very first step was getting past the Ravens. Like with the Ravens, before Joe Burrow and the Andy Dalton, well, actually before Lamar Jackson, we ran like 5 straight on them. So we never had issues with the Ravens like that, even when they were successful. Then when we had all of these injuries with Andy Dalton and Driscoll and things were going and Lamar stepped in, they ran like 5 straight on us. And so then when Joe played them for the very first time last year, they sacked him and did all of these things. He never got that second game against them. Mm-hmm. And so when we played them this season, he couldn't wait. And I knew that I didn't know that it was coming in the form of 41 or whatever, but I knew from listening to Joe in the offseason, that was one of the ones that he marked on his calendar, because he was like, yeah, I wanted to play them. And so he said himself, when we beat the Ravens as bad as we did, and he knew that the Ravens were a good team, he was like, all right, yeah, we can be good. And then the other thing he had said along the way was, you know, if we win this division, we can win it all. And when you have to go against a team like the Steelers, the Ravens, and all of that, and you move past that, and the Browns, you know, that's a tough division to come out on top. And so I think with us having that, so you win the division, then you go out and you beat the Chiefs. Even you go toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers, where if you make a field goal, you really – we're supposed to beat Aaron Rodgers too. So it's like, it's just a confidence, not cockiness, like we're going in and beating the Titans, but it's like, okay, we can match the Titans. Like they're the number 1 seed, but hey, we can go toe to toe with them as well. And, you know, this shirt that I'm wearing is something that CJ Uzoma said at the beginning of the season, and it's why not us? And it's like everybody was trashing the Bengals, but why can't we be a team that's in the fold? So I think it's just a lot of confidence that this isn't the Bengals that you know from before that are going to make mistakes, not show up. Like they're going to show up, and then they had a potential of doing something special.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And ironically, me and Hawk were talking about this offline, and I told him, I said, y'all are not scared. Didn't I say that, Hawk?
Yep. You did.
It's one of those things when I look at teams like the Bengals, even when the Chiefs won it that year, when we went up there and we ultimately lost. When you play without fear, you kind of go for broke. And it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to play without fear. We can win the game. But like you said, it's a confidence thing. So the same thing. Same question goes to me. Am I scared? No, I'm not. It's okay to be optimistic. It says, hey, we got to watch out for these players. But it's the same thing. I would say if the players in the locker room are not scared of nobody, okay? We're so battle-tested, it is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And when I look at the Titans' schedule and I go back, I'm like, okay, we've played the belly of the beast. Like y'all have played the belly. Like you just mentioned, y'all's division. Y'all in the belly of the beast. Well, our division wasn't that good this year, right? Mm-hmm. But we still had a gauntlet. We had the Bills. We had the Chiefs. We had the Rams. We've had the Saints. We were at a minute that when the king goes down, you're like, okay, Henry goes down. What do we do, right?
Right.
In their mind, it's the next man up mentality. Like how you said, why not us? It's the next man up mentality. And I think them adopting that mentality has carried this team and it's made this team confidence. Our fan base, we're there too. I know I'm there because I can't count out the Titans in anything. I can't say, well, yeah, we got a chance to lose. Am I scared to play Cincy? No, it's gonna be a tough fought game. Let the best man win, but you can't go in there fearful. You can't go in there and say if you play football, Ace, you know. Hawk, you play
can't
football.
go into anywhere scared.
Anything, anywhere scared, because if I go in that thing scared, I'm liable to get hurt. Or I'm liable to just overthink it. So with that, am I scared? No, I'm not scared. It's one of those things. Go in there and play your game and play with that confidence level, and you will be fine. So that's for me. Am I scared? No. I'm concerned? No, I'm not concerned, because I feel like if we keep y'all in the game, if it's close, like the Chiefs game, I look at the Chiefs game, y'all were down. Down. And all of a sudden, thank y'all, by the way, because thank y'all. We really appreciate that.
Sir.
We do. We appreciate that. But I'm looking, I said, okay, and this time, this is what Cincy do. Cincy starts slow, okay? Once they start slow, and you leave them in the game. Joe says this: I'm going to throw it up, Chase down there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what he said. That's right.
Down there somewhere. So when I think of that, I think of the new youth and the new youth that's coming into football. They play without fear. A lot of them like, okay, it's Tom Brady. I don't care about no Tom Brady. If that was us back in when we were playing in the late 90s, and when he was in his prime, we would be like, oh my God, I'm scared. So yeah, man, that's me.
I really appreciate the Titans, actually, because like you said, man, y'all took care of business. And because I'm on another show, AFC North Talk, and the Ravens fans, they made so many excuses about the injuries. And you know me, I'm a Bengals fan. There was no team more injured than the Bengals for the past decade, and we never brought that up as, you know, that's the reason we lost to y'all, or that's why we didn't win as many games. And I would always talk about the Titans, because I was like, look at the Titans. The Titans have more injuries than y'all. They're not sitting there saying like, oh, well, we lost this because of that. Like, that's not really an excuse when it comes to it. Like, and for them, until they lost Lamar Jackson, I'm like, as long as you have Lamar Jackson, I don't want to hear anything about any injuries or anything, because that dude is a huge X factor. But yeah, much respect to the Titans and what y'all been able to overcome, because it's not easy to overcome that gauntlet of not only, like you said, opponents, but also the injuries as well. And to sustain that success through the season and end up with the number 1 seed was definitely well deserved.
Facts, no paper, sir. Facts, no paper. So, Jacques, we have a super chat.
We actually got 2.
We got 2. Okay.
We got 2.
Let's Citizen Lou. What's good?
Gotta give him that horn, bro.
Yes, sir. Citizen Lou. Boom. All right. And then we got who else we got next?
We got Titan for Life.
Titan for Life.
$4.99 super chat. He says Bengals cannot match us. Joe B is a dog out there, but that defensive front is something serious compared to last year. Julio and AJ shown up also.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, so, that defensive front y'all got over there is nasty.
Yes, sir. Man. Give me that horn,
Titan
bro.
Life. Boom. Titan for Life in the building. Hey.
Oh, we got another one. We got Danko in there.
Danko. What's good, Danko? Danko the King. What's going on, bro? Hey, Danko. Hey, we hear you, good brother. Ready? All right. Boom! Danko in the building, super chat, and we got 102 people in the chat. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to New Stripe City, subscribe to that channel as well too, man. The link is in the description for sure.
Yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all get them likes, man. Get the super chats going. My man Engraven in the comments.
In the house.
What up, Engraven?
What up, Engraven? What's
good?
Hit
that notification bell. Yeah, man. Support these dudes. They're doing great stuff for the Titans.
Appreciate it. Engraven says, I'm at home watching everybody.
See, that's what I admire about Engraven.
Yeah,
Engraven isn't gonna make excuses. He's gonna just keep it real, and that's what you can only do. Like, even with me last year when we were bad, I just had to keep it 100. Like, the worst thing that you can do for real, honestly, is make excuses about stuff. Like, honestly, you just not being real to yourself if you got to do that.
That's right.
Yourself accountable.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, Engraven videos as well. If you're not subscribed to his channel, check them out. For the Ravens, the
Mr.
dopest
50K
in the building, man. No question about that, man. No question.
That's not Engraven. His name is Mr. 50K.
50K. I got you. Right. And counting.
Right.
And counting.
Yes,
right. Facts.
That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. So I do have a question for both of you. And Ace, I'll start with you first, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Jacques and I talk a lot about confidence level, right? You know, being confident about, whatever it is that you're about to do. So going into this game, the Titans and Bengals, This was used to be a team that we would face all the time in the AFC Central days. So, so it's good seeing Cincinnati back in the Nashville. So from a Cincinnati Bengals perspective, say from 1 to 10, and those in the comment section as well, want you all to answer this as well. How confident are you when it comes to the Bengals versus the Titans and winning this football game 1 to 10, and explain why your confidence number is there?
All right. I don't want y'all to get offended when I say this.
It's all good.
But I'm gonna say it's about a 7 to the 8.
Okay.
And the reason why I feel like that is I think that you guys have a very strong run defense. Obviously, you guys are up there with us when it comes to the top 10 ranking against the run. But I think that sometimes one of the things that the Bengals do is sometimes they run too much, right? I think this is an opportunity that we're going to have to actually open it up in the air. And, obviously you guys have elite safeties and things like that. But I think the issue is, and I heard you talking about Jamar Chase earlier, that dude, the way to guard this team, honestly, there's honestly really no way to guard the 3 receivers, but you have to have like 3 really good corners. And I'm not saying that you guys don't have that, but like even when you have those 3 really good corners, you have to pick your poison. So when you come out with your defensive strategy, most teams are either going to double Jamar Chase to try to close off the explosive plays. But the issue when you do that is now T. Higgins is getting all of these, like essentially what happened to kind of like the Ravens. He gets all of these open looks, and then he essentially could be like a wide receiver number 1. He has that talent level and that skill. And then you have Tyler Boyd over the middle. And so it's almost like pick your poison. And if you play man-to-man on Chase and you don't double team him, then Chase is gonna eat you up. Because the thing about Chase is this: he's a shorter receiver, right? But he's not small. Like I've seen him in person. He's not small. He's built like kind of like a running back. And so when you get him into space, there's different ways that you can use him in space as a running back. The deep ball, we already know he has the speed to take the top off of any play. That is a trio of receivers that are hard to kind of stop. And Joe just kind of knows how to utilize all of them just because of his, previous work at LSU. So he knows how to get these guys in the right position. So I think that is always a tall task for anybody. Now, here is the underrated part of this team. And I heard you guys say this earlier, but I understand why you say that, because if you look at it from purely a statistics standpoint, you probably just look at the names. You're like, who are these guys? Cheeto Awuzie, our corner, is one of the best corners in the NFL. He's not a big name. Nobody really knows him. But if you look at anybody that he's played against, elite wide receivers and all of that, they really don't get off on him. And I think that he's not going to slow down, he's not going to stop AJ at all, but I think he's going to slow him down. And I think there's going to be like 50-50 balls where he probably makes that touchdown on somebody and he might deflect it. And so I think that we kind of run under the radar because a lot of people don't realize how good our defense actually is. If you look at the numbers, you're going to be like, all right, they gave up a lot of yards in the past and stuff like that. But as you said earlier, the Bengals always started off slowly on offense, right? They were very inconsistent earlier. Even though they were explosive and had these plays, there was a lot of punts, bro. There were a lot of 3 and outs. There were, not 3 and outs, 3 and outs for us offensively. And it would be after the defense stood tall, or there would be situations where Joe was turning the ball over early, or we would have fumbles here and there. And it would be right after the defense just had a 3 and out, or they would fumble in our own territory, and then the team would score. So a lot of people kind of sleep on the defense, but the defense is really good. Like, they haven't really, for the most part, the only exception that they've really had where they've had kind of some sloppy games. And I can't even say the Browns one because we threw so many turnovers. We threw pick sixes in that game that I really just didn't get a defensive chance. But really, to me, the only one where they were super uncomfortable was the Jets game. So the defense is actually the secret weapon. And the best thing that we do on defense that also makes me feel good, you're not going to stop Derrick Henry. We didn't stop him last year. But this team that we have as far as run defense, this is probably the best run defense we have ever had in our history. Like, we're top 5 for a reason. So, like, they're going to make Derrick Henry work for it. But that is actually the strength of our defense, is kind of the run defense. And so that makes me feel like as long as we can try to contain Derrick Henry and we can try to contain A.J. Brown with having Cheeto on him, that makes me feel good. And then for me, anytime I look at any situation, regardless, whatever team it is, it always starts for me at the quarterback position. And so for me, I'm looking at Ryan Tannehill, and he's had amazing regular seasons. But when I seen what he's done in the history in the postseason, and I used to see him from afar from being down in Florida at Miami and talking to some of their fans, and he's not that same guy. But playoff atmosphere, as you guys know, is completely different. And so for me, I don't know, and you guys probably know better than me. I know if it gets to a clutch situation or something like that, I know that I can trust Joey B. And if I try to extend the lead or try to get into a shootout against Ryan Tannehill, I don't know. I feel like that might favor me in that sense. Now, the one thing that I'm worried about that you guys present for us, obviously Derrick Henry, but like you said, not even just I got respect for Harold Landry. I think Jonah can do his thing. I'm really worried about Isaiah Prince. If you guys put anybody on Isaiah Prince's side or on any of our right guard side, they're going to get to us. But what I'm mostly worried about is Jeffrey Simmons, because that interior pressure right up the middle, that can cause a lot of issues for us. And that's where kind of that weakness is in terms of that. But the other thing is, the thing that threw me off is I know that the Titans have great players on their offensive line, but I couldn't understand how they had given up so many sacks. And so I was thinking like I was going to go and look, and you guys would be like, I can't say Browns level because the Browns have given up a lot of sacks, but I would think that just off paper that you guys would be top 5 in terms of protection. And so, and that varies, right? Because even with our offensive line, sometimes that's free runners that the running back didn't block, or that's the tight end being on somebody. But the other aspect of this team, and that's another important thing, if you guys are watching our injury report, if you're a Titans fan, Trey Hendrickson is one of the most underrated edge rushers in the game. Nobody talks about him. They don't say Trey Hendrickson is a top 5 edge rusher, in my opinion. And I went out on a limb because when we signed him, a lot of Bengals fans was giving him flack. A lot of these analyst guys was talking about he got a lot of cleanup sacks because of Cameron Jordan. Y'all know me. I cut the film on. I cut the tape on because we all play ball and stuff like that. You already know when you want to really learn about somebody, you don't look at analytics and all of that. You cut the tape on. And so I'm still going to do the same with y'all, with Jeffrey and all of them. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and look at the film. But this dude is a monster. The only thing is he's had issues with his back. He's in concussion protocol. And then we also lost Larry Ogunjobi, who isn't really, because like a lot of people, if you're just looking at it on the surface level, it's like, oh, Derrick Henry is going to kill us. Larry Ogunjobi isn't really a good run defender. He's more of a pass rushing defensive tackle. So when you lose him, you kind of lose that aspect. And so the issue that I think applies for us in this game is if we don't have Trey Hendrickson, if we don't have Larry Ogunjobi, are we going to be able to get to Ryan Tannehill and put pressure on him? Because that's one of the strengths of our defense. I would say the defensive line is the biggest strength when you talk about the D tackles and the edge rushers. And I'm not saying Sam Hubbard is not elite or anything. The only thing Sam Hubbard is elite at is setting the edge and stopping the run. He can get some sacks now, but the real sack guy is really Trey Hendrickson. And then you have a mix of guys like Cam Sample and guys like that. But the other guy that really flies under the radar, and I think it's because of the position that he plays, and he's the main reason that we are top 5 in run defense, is DJ Reader. DJ Reader is playing at an elite level when it comes to that. Then you talk about the linebackers that we have. You got Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt. They're not elite. They're just solid, right? They just are around the play. I'll probably say Logan Wilson probably has the better ball skills, even though Pratt just got the interception. That's where the defense kind of comes. And then if I'm talking about, I know I'm giving a whole overview, but I'm trying to give you guys an idea of the defense. Right. When it gets to the secondary, Cheeto, bro, like I said, like I watched Cheeto on film, and I actually had a conversation with Voch Lombardi. We all know Voch. He's famous on YouTube and all of that. I respect his film breakdowns. And so when we first signed Cheeto, that was the first person that I reached out to. And he was like, look, bro, he was like, Cowboys fans have given him a lot of slack unfairly. He was like, Cheeto is a really good player. I reached out to my buddy that's a Cowboys fan. He was like, Cheeto is good, bro. And I watched him and I was like, this dude could be really good. I think he's going to be a lot better than people think. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the scheme, because our defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, he originally started as a secondary coach. So I don't know if it's just a better scheme fit, but Cheeto is good. Then you got Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton is the dude that's in the nickel, and he's really kind of the Swiss Army knife. We utilize him similar to how they used him in Pittsburgh, which we brought him back from the division rival. He can come at you on blitzes. He can do some things. He might give up a little bit in the passing game, but he's also a talented guy. And then you have, honestly, the shock of the year, in my opinion, with Eli Apple, because we've all seen Eli Apple play around the NFL. He's kind of been cast away at different places. He's kind of had struggles, but he's actually come to Cincinnati and really played at a commendable level, right? Like, he's had games where I'm like, I didn't even notice he was in there. And, you know, that's not the case when you talk about Eli Apple. But the other thing on top of that is the depth at corner that the Bengals have gotten just gives them decent above average corners, right? You get guys like Trey Flowers, who comes to us from the Seahawks. So he's a guy that's 6'2", that if you have a tight end that you can use in the passing game, we can throw him out there. We have a lot of guys that we can use. And then you get to the safeties. You talk about Von Bell, who I think is playing super underrated this year. He's really an enforcer out there. Jesse Bates has had an up and down year. It's been a lot of contract talk and stuff like that. But honestly, this last game, I think, may have been his best game of the season. And so the defense really, everybody talks about the offense, right? That's what sells tickets. It's Joe Burrow, it's Chase, and those guys are extremely talented. But the defense is just as good as the offense. They just don't have the names, the notoriety. And when you look at the stats, because the defense has been on the field far more than the offense until the offense got rolling, it looks like the defense has been struggling. But that's why this defense held Pat Mahomes in the second half to 3 points when we played him.
Right.
Okay. Great breakdown of the Bengals. If you already know much about Cincinnati, I'm sure you do at this moment. You know what I mean? That's a great breakdown.
Hell of a breakdown.
Yep.
So Titans for Life, before we get to me, whatever.
Yes,
Titans
sir.
for Life with the $4.99 super chase says, bro, the Bengals got to worry about our punter Brett Kern too.
Yep.
Ain't no short friend. Bring your lunch pail.
That's right. That's right. Titan for Life. That's right.
Let's give him that horn, bro.
Yes, sir. Boom! Titan for Life in the building. So, Jacques.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to throw that question to you, man. And
Okay.
We got several folks that answered the question as well, as far as the Titans and their confidence level from 1 to 10. So, coming into this game in the city, Nashville is going to be cold too, right? It's supposed to be getting down to like 18 degrees. It's going to be crazy. So, for you, what is your confidence level, Jacques, for the Titans beating the Cincinnati Bengals, man?
So, for me, it's going to sound crazy, but an 8. I'm at an 8. I'm at an 8. I am at an 8. And I know, Ace, you mentioned earlier, you said, who would you trust in a situation of fourth quarter comebacks or whatever?
Facts.
So, as a stat where Ryan Tannehill, since he's built the Titans, I think he's had 9 fourth quarter comebacks, and I think that's the most in the league. So, with Ryan, I like it that way because Ryan has a run game. He has Derrick Henry. He doesn't have to throw like Burrow. Burrow is amazing, right? We know Tannehill's not a gunslinger. We know that, but that's what I love about him. Don't turn the ball over. Do what you need to do. Now, of late, he's been coming on. Now, with our offense, and the reason I know you mentioned earlier about our offense, we don't have a sexy offense. Our offense is we stuck to our identity when Henry went down, but we also have a new offensive coordinator. So I don't know if the Cincinnati Bengals fans know that, but we got a new offensive coordinator named Mr. Todd Downing. How you doing, Todd? Me and him have a long relationship, man.
How you doing, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm all right, bro. I'm all right.
Okay, so, all right, good. I'm trying to do it, brother.
Hey, so with him, you know how anything happens when you're in football. When you get something new, you got to establish continuity. You got to establish, you're learning a new playbook, right?
Right.
And we brought him in for continuity. Like, hey, but he's new. He has to figure it out. So like you said with the Cincinnati's offense, like you said, pick your poison. Because it is true. It's like a pick your poison type thing. And it's almost like some games I'm like, why don't Cincinnati just spread it out and play 7-on-7, right? Y'all are sort of built like the Chiefs. That's how the Chiefs are built. But with the Titans, the good thing is we're getting the king back. Now, it ain't confirmed yet, but when he comes back, we don't know what he's going to be, right? We don't know where his confidence level is going to be. But what's happened in the past 4 weeks, the Titans offense has come on, right? Our defense has already been on. Right. Defensively, statistically, like you said, we all football guys. You know, you got to throw stats out the window, right?
Yeah.
With our defense, people look at it. You can pass on them. You can pass on them. Pass on them. The lovely part that I love about our defense is who we've played, man. And this is why I go down and I look at our schedule and I'm like, okay, Who have the Titans played that I'm like, okay, let's take a look, right?
Right.
We played the Rams. We know what that quarterback brings, right? We played the Chiefs. We played Josh Allen. We've played some heavy guys to the point where our secondary should have been eaten up, right? You would think like should be eaten up. But how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won a Super Bowl when they played the Chiefs was with their front four. And our front four, you know about, like you said, you know about Landry, you know about Simmons, you know about Bud Dupree, you know about Nico Autry, Tier Tart, right? And I say the tone setter on our defensive line is usually the Nico Autry. The Nico Autry gets to you, then that's when everybody else gets that confidence level, and it's kind of hard. The thing about the Bengals is if you keep them in their own 20, and somebody said it earlier, Brett Kern, that's another weapon that I don't think the league is really on notice about. You keep them in that third and in their own 20, I have confidence in enough our defense. Hey, you can get your yards.
Right.
We're going to bend but not break. Also, I think the last time we played you, I don't think David Long played. And I don't think not too many people know about David Long.
Who's from Cincinnati.
He was from Cincinnati.
He's from Cincinnati. That's where David,
David, last time we played you, I think we had Jayon Brown and Rashawn Evans playing. And those are two good linebackers. But ever since then, this defense has changed. Of course, you got Fulton, you got Jack Rabbit, but you also got Zach Cunningham, who can stop the run, right?
Right.
So when it comes to our run defense, I think we're like number 2 with run defense.
Y'all killing it.
And I think y'all are what, number 5?
5, yeah.
Yeah, y'all number 5. So these are two good. And it's almost like y'all, it's like, okay, we don't know too much about them. They got names, but the national media don't give us recognition, of course. But our run defense, it's like, okay, we'll stop the run, have all day. Now, what we usually do, we play a heavy dime, right? When we play Miami, we had Waddle, Gesicki. You know about Gesicki.
Right.
We had Parker. And when we play them, I look at Jamar Chase and Waddle because we're in SEC country. So we see this all the time. Yep. Jamar, Waddle. Waddle, to me, is a better route runner than Jamar. But Jamar, if I got to compare him, Jamar is Waddle's at a 10, Jamar's at a 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's who we got to look out for. And like you said, pick your poison. The thing about our defense is if you want to go over the top, and I know Joe likes to do this, you do got Byard and you do got Hooker over there. So I think with us, it starts with our front four. And if our front four can get to the O-line, and we know about Quentin Spain because he was an ex-Titan.
Yep, you already know. Hey, that's the most underrated dude.
Yeah, yep. Hey, if our front four can get to Burrow and hit him up a little bit, touch him up a little bit, get physical with them, they'll be fine. On the offensive side of the ball, getting Henry back and then getting Julio. Now, Julio, we played the Texans last week. I don't know if you caught the game.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of that game.
Tannehill, our run defense didn't really, we did good. We did decent. But I was surprised about our passing attack. Now, we know we got Julio. You got A.J. Brown. You got Nicokeena Westbrook. Now, people are all automatically Bates, Von Bell, AZ. They're going to look at AJ. They're like, all right, get him. Boom. But they're not accounting for Nicokeena Westbrook and Julio. Actually, statistically, I believe Nicokeena Westbrook has had a better year than Julio.
Right. He has.
I saw that. Yeah, Mr. Third Down. He's our 3rd and 15 guy. He's our 3rd and 16 guy. So for me, that's my confidence level. What about you, Hawk?
So I'm going to be very short with my confidence level because I definitely want to get into the chop up with those in the chat. My favorite part of the show. So I'm going to tell you all this. My confidence level is at an 8.2. Okay. So, and I'm really doing that based on the fact that, yes, I know about Cincinnati's run defense, and as well as them being very, very constant and very stable throughout the NFL season in stopping the run. I do get that. But when I look at this as well, too, with Hendrickson possibly not playing, Ogunbiyani is out as well, too. That's going to be huge. They are needed to play to beat the Titans, especially in stopping the run. And I think that's where we can expose the Bengals actually in running the football. If we stick to that, don't make turnovers. So every game that we've had more turnovers, whether it be 1-0, 5-0, we lose every single game. Yeah. All the games that we won, even the 8, we've beaten 8 playoff teams. We had the least amount of turnovers. Cincinnati would take advantage of those turnovers if we make it happen. But I really do think that that's something that we have sort of resolved. And I think as well against Cincinnati, that's going to be a big plus for us. So I'm going to say an 8.2. Going into this game, again, we're the number 1 seed for a reason. If you don't fall off a tree to be the number 1 seed. You have to beat teams for that to happen. And every playoff team that we faced that was on our schedule, we beat them. So
no, that's fact. The one thing that I will tell you though, Larry Ogunjobi is not a good run defender. BJ Hill is a good run defender, and he's one of the dudes that we have back there. And then we also had Josh Tupou coming back. So he's not really like run defense. You can run on Larry Ogunjobi. I'm gonna just put it like that. Like even in Cleveland, they was like, yeah, my boy that's a Browns fan is like, you can run on him. But yeah, you do make a great point. I think from a pass rushing standpoint, not having those two guys is major.
Yeah. So we are at our favorite part of the show, folks. As you all know, this is the live chop up. So we enjoy the live chop up. This time we want to sit you at the dinner table. We got fruits, vegetables, whatever you want to chop it up with us, man. Hey, go ahead and fire those questions as we do at this section. You throw a question, we fire off a quick answer, and we go on to the next question.
Yes, sir. I know there was one question earlier that said, who do you guys think is going to win the game tonight? The Rams or the who the Rams play?
The Cardinals. The Cardinals.
I feel like, I mean, man, if the Cardinals had Nuke, it would be like the Cardinals. Why sweet? Is JJ Watt playing? Because
he's playing.
I'm going with the Cardinals, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real. And I went out on a limb earlier and said this, like when the trade happened, when they traded and got Matthew Stafford. When people were saying Matthew Stafford was like an MVP quarterback and should be like an elite one now, just simply because he went to the Rams, I wasn't hopping on that board, bro. Like I felt like Kyler Murray was still better than him.
Right.
Like I said, I always go by the quarterback. I'm gonna give the Cardinals a chance in this one. I think their defense is underrated as well. But I think the more likely players that the Rams will win, just because you got Jalen Ramsey, you got Aaron Donald and all of that. But something doesn't want me to bet against Kyler. Like I feel like Kyler might be the X factor. I got my boy AJ Green out there, so
that's right.
For personal reasons, because I like Kyler and AJ. I like what they got going. They getting JJ Watt back on an already good defense. I think I'm gonna go with them because Matt Stafford got some pick sixes in him, dog. Like he'll give you the ball up.
Yeah, he will. He
do. So Rocky Yee says, what do y'all think about King's first game back being on 1/22/22?
Man, that's crazy, man. The number 22 on the 22nd day of 2022, man. That's unbelievable, man. That's number sort of has a funny way to work itself out. So hopefully he gets 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. What about that?
He was actually my fantasy running back this year, man. It hurt. He kept me in it though, man. Derrick Henry kept me in it. He allowed me to make the playoffs, and it was a crazy year because literally my first 5 draft picks in fantasy all got hurt. Like all of them got hurt, like all out for the season and stuff like that.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Cool, man.
Dre24 says, what about our nickel versus Tyler Boyd?
Tyler Boyd is very underrated. That's what I'll say. Like how y'all were talking about your slot, like that's the clutch person that y'all go to on third down. That's what Tyler Boyd is. He's taken a little bit of a step back in his role because when you have 3 mouths to feed, you know, it kind of gets hard to get all of that. But whenever you need one over the middle, Tyler Boyd is very underrated. He's not a big name, but I feel like if you ask me, like who the top 5 slots are in the league, he's definitely in that list for sure.
Yeah. I would put him there too. I would too.
I agree. So Kelly Boy says, who do you start, Henry or Foreman? Who do you start, Hawk?
Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Yep. What about you, Jacques?
Henry ain't got no choice.
Exactly.
There's no way you don't start Derrick Henry.
Go out there.
Derrick Henry. Absolutely.
Classic Ride Society. AC. I think the Bengals will stack the box on the King. That would open up play action. Do they respect it though? That's the thing. Do you think they'll stack the box, Ace?
For the most part, we play like a lot of zone. We don't stack the box too much. We don't really blitz too often. I think that they'll just play their game and concentrate on the run. But I do think they will focus on the run more so than the pass. Like we kind of saw the opposite this week against the Raiders because they're more of a passing team. But I think that they will lock in. But I don't think it'll just be we about to disrespect AJ Brown and Julio. Like they're not gonna do that.
Right. Yeah. So my boy Brian, what up, bro?
What up, Brian?
This question is for everyone who will be the X factor player for either the Titans or the Bengals to win the game. Okay. All right, Ace, I'm gonna go with you first. Who's your X factor?
It's Cheeto, man. For me, it's Cheeto because if Cheeto can hold his own against, which I'm confident that he can, if he can limit AJ Brown, I think that allows the defense to try to concentrate on limiting Derrick Henry. I say this all the time. You're not gonna stop Derrick Henry. You're not gonna stop AJ Brown. You just got to try to contain them. Like if you could hold, to me, an example of that is if you hold AJ Brown to, let's say, 5 receptions for 85 yards, and he doesn't score a touchdown. That's pretty damn good against A.J. Brown, where he's not having a monster game. So I think for us, it's Cheeto.
What about you, Hawk?
It's Ryan Tannehill. And I think one thing that Tannehill can do, and I think they've been saving him for the season, he's going to run the ball a bit more too when the play breaks down. And I think Ryan Tannehill is going to be the key for us in the entire playoffs. I think everybody else will bring their lunch pail ready to go, man. It's going to be on Ryan Tannehill for me. X Factor, definitely.
I agree. Tannehill. Because like I said, Tannehill ain't won a playoff game yet. So, I mean, not by himself.
Yeah.
Let me say, Henry did it by himself, but it's time for Tannehill to step up. So, Big B says, do you think the playoff experience for the Titans give another edge over the Bengals? NFL is the same as college. And yes, I do.
The one thing that I would say about this is you have to remember a lot of the players that we've signed have been on teams that have been in the playoffs. So one example is Trey Hendrickson. He's played with the Saints and stuff like that. At first, I kind of thought that would be a factor, especially against the Raiders. Well, they don't have much playoff experience either, right? But it's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just that mentality that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have. They just are ready to rise to the occasion, coupled with like the veterans that have been on some playoff teams.
Well, I'll add to that real quick too. You know, the Titans have been in the playoffs now for 5 out of the last 6 seasons.
Yeah. So I remember I bet on y'all to pull the upset against, I think I called the upset against the Patriots. I'm like, okay, Titans about to take that one.
Yeah, man. So it is the playoffs are a different monster, and the Titans have experience, a lot of experience. We was in the AFC Championship game 2 years ago. So I do think, because I felt the Bengals played nervous against the Raiders. Mm-hmm. The Raiders had opportunities to beat the Bengals. Cincinnati gave them opportunities. The Raiders just didn't capitalize, and I felt like maybe they're just a little bit nervous being at their first playoff game in a long time. But I think so.
And I'll add to that too. The key to beating the Bengals is keep Joe Burrow off the field.
Yeah,
keep him off the field.
Keep 9 off the field.
You keep him off the field, then he ain't gonna be. And that's the thing. The Titans, once they get if Henry comes back, what'll happen is they'll play that keep away ball in the late quarters. So we got Christopher Woodley. He says, will we see playoff Julio or will be a dud? Okay, I guess that means or will he be a dud? So are we gonna see playoff Julio, or is he gonna be what have you been seeing throughout the
between? He'll be in between. He will never get to Julio Alabama Julio. That's never happening. He won't be a dud. He'll have opportunities to make plays. He gets 6 or 7 catches. That's a win for us. So he'll be Julio.
Exactly, and he'll be how he was with the Texans. Just ask him. Don't ask him to do too much. Ask him, hey, hold fort, and you'll be good.
That's right.
Keisha says, let me see. She says, are you guys going to any tailgates? So I will be at the game. Probably. I'm gonna have to warm up because this Hawk said it's gonna be like 19 degrees.
Right.
So I'm trying to stay warm. Let me see.
Yeah.
It's some of those hot packets, man. That held me down. The hot packets and the long johns. I even had the ones on my feet at that game in the Natty.
Got you, dude.
Man, okay.
And Cincinnati's not far from Nashville. It's not. It's not at all. I've been in Cincinnati many times. It's literally not far at all. You get through Kentucky, you're in Cincinnati.
Right. The official TY says, "Are you scared of whoever is the matchup for Eli Apple?"
Nah, man. Like I said, like Eli Apple. If you're thinking that this is Eli Apple from
the Giants
before Cincinnati, he's probably playing the best ball of his career. I think he almost picked off Pat Mahomes. So at first, like when he first kind of got put in there, because technically, and that's the other, I didn't even mention him. We have Trey Waynes too, right? Trey Waynes is supposed to be the starter, right? But he hasn't been healthy. He's only played like 3 games in so many years. Eli Apple came in kind of in reserve of him and really just has been solid. Like if you look at Eli Apple's stats, they're not bad. So I can't say that I'm worried about who would be on Eli Apple because he's just proven time and time again that he's a solid corner.
Nice. I'll take my chances on Eli Apple. If I'm the Titans, I'm looking for him.
Feed AJ.
Yep.
So that's why I think I do respect about the Bengals and Joe. He'll feed Jamar. He's looking for Jamar a lot.
Facts, no paper.
He will look for Jamar. He don't, like I said, he don't care if you're down. I'm gonna look for him. If I throw an interception in the process, at least it was in his vicinity.
Right.
So Rashad Wright asks, will we see Derrick Henry stiff arm someone?
Of course, man. That's like his trademark.
Right.
It is.
Yep.
It
will. Yep. So Indigo says, I believe the key to this game is Bud to pre pressure on the outside. Who do you believe this is the key on defense for the Bengals? Ace, that's for you.
It's Trey Henderson if he plays, or it is Cheeto. Like Cheeto is always the key for us because he always comes up big. Another one I'll just say because I keep saying Cheeto, Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton is going to be a key, especially with him being in the slot against your boy.
Got you. And you, in the offensive line will let you get interceptions. I mean, a sack. So just y'all will get one. That's just how that's how we operate.
That's right, Jacques. That's right. That's right.
So Big B with the
Big B. He said, I'm gonna need a crisp high five at the game, Jacques.
My hand gonna be stuck like that.
Oh man, that's good, Jacques. That's good, dude. That's good. Big B with the super chat. Boom! Big B in the building, folks. Big B, appreciate the super chat, bro. Thank you kindly. Thank you.
Hey, let me see what we got. Let's see. Titans and Truth in the building.
Titans and Truth in the building.
He says, "What up, fellas? I'll be at the game too. Could the stage in the next round be too big for the Bengals? Mainly Zach Taylor, as they may come out sluggish given that they got their first playoff win in 31 years." Ooh.
Check out the Titans show, by the way, too, y'all. Make sure to check him out.
Yes, sir. I don't think so, man. Like with Zach has actually had his fair share of up and downs this season, right? But it's really been not letting Joe Burrow cook in certain situations. That's what it's really been like. Sometimes he'll be conservative on like a second down, or even last week in the game, like when you had Joe Burrow on a 4th and 1 and he's cooking, you let him go for it on 4th and 1. You don't kick a field goal, and he's done that before and taken the ball out of his hands. And mainly, I felt like the reason that he was doing that was because through that stretch, Joe was turning the ball over. Joe hasn't turned the ball over. So I think Zach Taylor, I really have to commend him because I was on him bad last year. I was a heavy critic of Zach Taylor, and I think that he's really turned it around, and it's not too big for them. And this is the reason that I say that, because it sounds crazy with me saying that, but when you really pull the layer off of this, Joe Burrow's dad, it kind of starts with his family. His dad was a coach, right? So he's already taught Joe how to read, how to watch film and stuff like that. He comes from a coaching family. Zach Taylor also comes from a coaching family. He's I forget who he's related to. Is Mike Sherman, I believe. Mike Sherman or whatever. He came out of that family. And then Burrow has also taught Chase how to break down film. So right now, Joe and Chase are probably watching y'all corners or y'all safeties and probably trying to learn their tendencies and stuff like that. So when it comes to like, is it too big for them? It's really like this back end scene of like coaches and film watchers that they kind of work with. So I think that helps out Zach a little bit. Obviously, Vrabel has way more experience than him. So this is a situation where when it comes to situation in football, Vrabel probably has the advantage. But I think Zach has taken strides to show that he's made a lot of improvements versus some of his struggles from the last couple of years.
Great point.
Coach said, thanks, Ace. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, bro. Thanks, man. Thank you.
That's my guy. Like, honestly, bro, another turning thing on the point with Zach Taylor, and I this was at the game I went to in Jacksonville. This dude shook every player's hand after that win. Like, he's just a real humble, down-to-earth dude. You know, some of these head coaches, they don't even talk to some of the players. They only talk to, like, their positional coaches. So to see that from him, that was just major.
Yeah, I remember when he played in Nebraska, too, as a quarterback, Zach Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so cool. We got a super chat.
Stanley funny. He said $5. He said, send in the super chat to see if my boy's going to get that boom on point for the first time.
Absolutely, bro. You already know, Stanley. You already know, bro. Hey, Stanley Wilson. Boom! Stanley Wilson in the building, folks. There it is, Stanley. We appreciate it, brother. We really do, man.
Right. The official says, can you explain how y'all give up so many yards on so less carries?
Yeah. Josh Jacobs was eating, bro.
I think, Josh Jacobs definitely was eating, but we got to give respect to Josh Jacobs. He's not a scrub now, but I think it was more so when you look at the Raiders, like the last time we played them, they really are a passing team. Even when Josh Jacobs was healthy the last time, they kind of recently started running him a little bit more, but I think it was just because they were taking away the top. If you notice in that game, Derek Carr didn't throw any deep passes, and that was schemed up. And I think that they really concentrated on shutting down Waller, because Waller is kind of the key to that offense. And so they were willing to live with Josh Jacobs getting some things here and there, But the real concentration that they had was really on Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow and that passing vertical attack.
Got you. Christopher asks, he says, New Stripe City, which 2,000-yard runner would you rather face, CJ2K or King Henry?
Whoo. That's a great question, bro. Like, honestly, they have two different styles. Who would you rather face? Oh, bro. I think Derrick Henry is a better player. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think the scarier person that I would face, though, is CJ, because he could just hit them home runs. Like, I say that, but King Henry can too, right? But it's in a different way. Yeah. But I would just say CJ2K because, and if we're talking about this Bengals defense, they really struggled against kind of some of those shiftier running backs, right? So I would probably say CJ2K because once that boy hit that edge, he gone. He out of there.
Yeah, and some of the most top end speed I ever seen.
Y'all have some of the best running backs ever, man. Like Eddie George. I was a huge Eddie George fan back in the day. CJ2K and King Henry, man, that's true. Y'all might have to put a 3-headed shirt for just that.
Hey, we must appreciate it. That's one thing the Tennessee Titans have done well is drafted running backs. I give them, they'll either get one each decade. It's like, man, he's cold. Tyson too says Fulton might be telling guys about Burrow and Chase too. Nobody knows Burrow and Chase better than Fulton. That is true. That's a good point. Sometimes you forget that they were teammates. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, Fulton has to practice against Chase and Burrow.
And that is that's definitely gonna bode well for him because I think that's what's made Cheeto better, right? Like that has helped Cheeto out because he has to go against Jamar Chase. So I do think, that's definitely gonna bode well for Fulton for sure.
So to speak of that, Classes Rise Society, I'm gonna throw this to you. How do you think Fulton would do on Chase?
Well, since Christian Fulton and Jamar Chase, they've known each other now since they were high school teammates. They're damn near best friends. So they're going to have some competitive spirit out there. Definitely. They're going to go at it. I think Chase will get some catches. He will. He'll get some catches. And I'm going to say he'll get a touchdown. But I'm going to say that I think Christian Fulton will do a very good job against him. I don't think Jamar Chase is just going to go off. You know, Christian Fulton hadn't had anyone just to say go off on him all season. So I think he'll keep him under wraps for the most part. Expect Chase maybe 70 yards and a touchdown.
Right.
I would say that's a win.
Yep. I can see that. Like you said, usually when you're a DB, you know tendencies. You understand how a receiver comes out of his route. If he comes out of his route too slow, you come out. If he's twitchy here, if he shakes here. So I know Fulton. If I've been challenging you since high school, I know something. I know something about you that I can just be like, okay, I know he does that. I know he does that. But just imagine both of them at the same high school. Jesus Christ.
The one thing I want to ask y'all is this: do y'all move Fulton around? Would he stay on Chase, or like is it he stays on one side of the field or the other?
No, the Titans they do the motion thing. So one side's cover 2, one side's man, and vice versa. So if Chase want to eat, go on Jackrabbit side. That's all I gotta say.
That is what see for me. I'm like, if y'all do not want Chase do not let Jack Rabbit get on Chase. I'm telling y'all, don't. Yeah,
I know, man. We know,
man. And Molden too. So I know that's the slot that Molden scares me in the slot. So this is where Tyler Boyd comes into play. Mm-hmm. If y'all want to manipulate something and you want to get Tyler Boyd going, put him 1-on-1 in the slot with Molden. Molden's not a good man.
That's gonna be scary. Oh, that'll be bad for us.
He's not a man corner. He's a good zone corner, but when it comes to man, oh my God! So if Zach's listening, Zach, if you listening, bro, if you listening and you want a competitive edge, y'all better dial up something where you get molding and going. That goes on Burrow too. If you go in motion, I got no choice but to take him. So
that's right.
Let's see if we got any more. Let's see.
We'll answer. We'll go probably about 3 more questions, Jacques. What you think?
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. The team is keeping quiet about him, and I see that. So they haven't said anything about Henry. Vrabel gave a vague answer today when they said about Henry. He said, "Well, we're gonna see how he runs in practice. We're gonna see." And I'm like, they do a very good job at disguising when somebody's gonna get activated. So we'll see. Yeah.
Got to keep that competitive advantage for as long because you got people game planning right now. They're like, should we be prepared for Henry or Hillary? Right. I would just think there's no way you can't play Derrick Henry in a game like this.
That's right. That's right.
Man, you right.
Yep.
And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Jack Rabbit. I've actually been a promoter of Jack Rabbit Jenkins this season. Now he's not that he just does so great, but he's done pretty well. He has been. But I still would be nervous as hell if number one on the Cincinnati Bengals is out on the field and Jamar Chase out there. That would be I would be a bit nervous in that regard.
So I sit in the end zone. That's gonna scare me. And I'm gonna be like, "Don't you do it." My hands are gonna be on my head just like this. I'm like, "That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown." Yep. So Foster Tate, this is a great.
That boy is crazy, bro. That's all I can say. That man put 200 on Marlon Humphrey. I ain't never.
Yep.
So Foster Tate asked, and this is a very great question.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the whistle on the Joe Burrow touchdown?
Go for it, Ace.
We putting this in go ahead.
That's in your hands on that one.
There's a funny backstory to this, right? Because I was at the game. I'm just being real. I didn't hear a whistle at all. But when he caught that touchdown, I actually broke my phone celebrating when it happened, because Joe Burrow, he does this all the time. That's another underrated aspect of him, is the ad lib, right? Like sometimes guys will break through the line. You think that you got him, and he really didn't pull this out of his arsenal until I'd probably say about week 11, right? Because he was still kind of nervous with like the knee and everything. I didn't hear a whistle. There were other plays where this man threw like a 40-yard like first down to Jamar Chase, and then like they said that they called a timeout, and this was way after the play. They sat in the middle of the field for so long. I didn't hear a whistle. I thought that it was still going on. I mean, it is what it is. I feel like there were a lot of different calls that were missed on both sides in that game. If you want to call that a missed call, I get it. But when everybody was at the stadium, like nobody heard it. Like it's one thing to like see it be shown on a replay, and all. They didn't even replay it or anything. Like nobody heard the whistle or anything. It could have been because it was super loud in there, but I definitely didn't hear a whistle at all. So like, it was news to me, and sometimes I guess it's different when you're at the game versus watching it on TV. Because when we were at the game, that wasn't even one of like the major things that people got upset about. It really was a play where Jamar Chase got like a first down, and it was on like a 3rd and 15 or something like that. And then like the play happened, like even the players from the other team were moving on, and then they were like, "Oh, it's something going on." They said that they called a timeout. So for me, I didn't personally hear it. I don't think that I think in the NFL in general, they just have sketchy kind of calls. And so for me, whenever I'm in that situation, even if I'm on the other side, it's like, all right, well, we shouldn't have been that close to the team so that the refs could affect the game anyway.
Gotcha. Right. Makes sense.
Now that's fact.
Go ahead, Jacques. I'm sorry.
And to add to Ace's point, when you're at the games, it is hard to hear whistles. It's hard to hear calls. It's like really hard to hear calls and whistles, especially if you sit in a specific area. It's the same with us. You're like, okay, I didn't hear that. You see something different on TV versus what I see in
and I was not like bragging or humble bragging or anything, but I was like in the 100. So it's like it's not like I was up in 3 something, like I just can't hear it. Like, so I didn't hear anything, but yeah, it just is what it is.
Right.
Yes, sir. We got Titans Rossi in the building. What's up, Titan Rossi? What's good, bro?
So I want to get to this question. Brett Clark says, and Rossi, salute to Rossi. Chase, Higgins, Boyd, and Mixon. Can the Titans keep up with this Bengals and Burrow? Hawk, go, and then I'll go. Can they keep up? Defense.
Yes, we can. Again, look at the teams that we've beaten that have great offenses, right? The Chiefs, the Rams, right? 49ers have a good offense. So, we have been doing this all season long. And, will it be a challenge? Yes. We're going to have to play our best because they are good. I mean, they are. I mean, I think shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals in drafting Joe Burrow. You guys have a steal. He could be the best quarterback in that generation. And that's how good he is. But, again, he's in his second year. Yes, he has experience in college. I mean, NCAA champion, Heisman Trophy winner, the best college season ever. Those things do work. Yes. But again, we have major experience. Hey, we had Derrick Henry. We talk about college experience, right? Heisman, all those things, national champion. We got Rashaan Evans. We got players like
Christian
Fulton. So so we have those fabrics too within our team. Facts. And so yes, we can handle them and keep up with them. Yes, I don't think our defense is as bad as the Raiders. Our defense is much better than the Raiders.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
So the Raiders had opportunities to win this football game. Jamar Chase had a hell of a game and 9 catches over 100-something yards. Yes, I get that. but they did a great job with everybody else. Uzuma was their second receiver as far as catches and yards. So our defense has a better pass rush. They got Max Crosby, but we have much more activity up front. So yes, we can keep up with the game.
And our linebackers, I'm gonna add to that too. Our linebackers are underrated with Zach Cunningham and David Long, and I think that you have to equate for that, because the thing about the Bengals, this Bengals team reminds me of the 2019 Chiefs team on offense, where I always said they had a track team on offense. It's the same thing with the Bengals. Y'all, to me, y'all receivers are longer and taller, right, and more physical. But the thing about, like Hawk said, with our team is we tend to strategize a little bit better and get ready. Hey, we're gonna play this deep zone. We're gonna keep 3 safeties in the game, 3-4 corners in the game, and going to say our front four to go to town, right? So I think if you're going to play them, that's how you're going to have to play them. You're going to have to play them on a heavy dime, because it's almost like backyard football. It's like, hey, okay, my 7 on your 7, right? And then say, hey, my front four, do what y'all got to do. Can y'all get to Burrow to disrupt this? Because it's this timing. If you can disrupt his timing, then you can get to Burrow, because I don't care what quarterback you are. If you can get in his face, boom. And Burrow likes to throw on the run too. Giving him a off script and have him moving and give him some time, he'll eat you up. But if you can get to the point where, hey, you got quick linebackers, you can have linebackers that know how to play depth, I think you'll be fine. So, hey, like Hawk said, man, we're so battle tested. It's almost like annoying sometimes. It's like everything that we've done so far, it's like we're almost there, but can we get over the hump? And I think we can. So, Rossi, what's up in the building?
What's up?
How many
more Rossi was like, hey.
He did say,
hey.
Man, that's funny. That's funny. Let me see what we got. You want to take 2 more questions, huh?
Yeah, we'll take 2 more. We'll take 2 more.
Let me see.
We appreciate everybody in the chat. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out, again, New Stripe City as well. The link is in the description as well.
Right. Hey, New Stripe City bringing the facts. If anybody know the Bengals, Ace knows the Bengals, bro. Like,
exactly.
For real.
Appreciate
for real.
Yep.
And I know y'all know the Titans.
If you don't know, now you know. You know, if you listen to this show about the Bengals. For real.
So Brett Clark said, he says, respect. Appreciate the response. New to the Titans, and I appreciate the knowledge. Sounds like a good defense ahead. Yes. Hey, salute. And we do have a lot of, like, I don't know if it's happening to the Bengals, but we having a lot of new fans that are getting on board. And it's probably the same thing with, I don't know if it's the same thing with y'all, probably.
Oh, so a lot of LSU, like a lot of old like LSU fans that love Burrow, they definitely hopping on. And you just get people that were already fans, and then you kind of get the people that have kind of gotten jaded with the Bengals. They used to be Bengals fans. Now they putting their gear back out now that Joey B is here. So you definitely got a influx of some new fans for sure.
Absolutely.
Right. And the official, I think he done said that at the whole show. He's confident. Oh yeah, he's confident. So T.J. Brown says 9 point. Okay, these are sacks. Okay, here we go. Autry 9. Jeffrey has 7. Landry has 12. Bud on the other side. That's the stats that don't get enough recognition in the national media. So
they should be giving you guys way more recognition, man.
Right.
Yeah. So we're the 1 seed at the end of the day. Do we not know that? You know, it's like we're the 1 seed at the end of the day. We're the 1 seed. We won 12 football games.
Cali Boy True Titan for Life says, do you think Ferguson and Swim can eat on the Bengals defense? Yes. I'm going to tell you why. Look at the last 2 or 3 weeks of what's been happening. Those two have been eating. When your run game is running and working like it is, it opens up that pass. And when AJ's going, when Julio's going, people forget about Ferguson and Swain, because
that's who I was going to ask you guys about. Ferguson,
yeah. So he hasn't had the best statistical year, but he's been able to fit in. He's been able to fit in. So yes, that's another person that you're going to have to. We have players like y'all have. I feel like y'all have good name receivers. Actually, our receivers are impeccable. But I feel like the Titans have hidden gems, if that makes sense. Where I think if the Bengals don't do their homework properly, Nicotina Westbrook will eat you. First will get you. Swain will get you. Julio might get you. You never know. You be like, how the hell did he get us? Tannehill might get you. Henry's going to get you. Deontay Foreman, Hilliard. This is a slew of weapons that a lot of people don't know. So
what about you? We have that as well. One guy that most people don't know about that you want to keep your eye on, Chris Evans, running back, the backup running back, the Joe Mixon. I compare him to like Reggie Bush as far as his style. Like when Reggie Bush could line up and play receiver and he could do that home run hit, Chris Evans is a guy that you got to watch out for. CJ Uzomah, I think, is underrated. Like I probably say he's an above average tight end when it comes to it. So those are two guys. If you look past the Joe Mixons and all of those guys, those are some guys that can really. A lot of our fans kind of get upset that they don't use Chris Evans more, but those are some of like the under the radar guys that can catch you slipping out of nowhere.
Yeah. Gotcha, man. Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm glad to hear about First because I was wondering because I was actually a huge fan of the tight end y'all had last year that went to the Patriots. I wanted us to sign him. Yeah. Jonnu Smith. Yeah, I love Jonnu. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I see the 22 comment. You see this right here, Jacques? We were talking about earlier, 2022. So it's also been 22 years since the last time we were in the Super Bowl. So 22 is our number right now, bro. Yeah. Get 222 yards rushing, Derrick Henry, and 2 touchdowns, bro. Or 22 yards a carry. You know what I mean?
That's funny. Hey, Rocky Yee says, let me see. Wait, let me pull that up. He says, great show, guys. Appreciate the knowledge. Ace, tighten up.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Salute.
Yes, sir. Somebody say something about Stephen A. Smith, Jacques.
Let me find it. Yep.
Where is that at?
It's time to make Stephen A. and Keyshawn eat crow and humble pie.
Exactly. And what was it that what did Stephen A. Smith say about the Titans, man?
Tennessee Titans season's over. Let's call it what it is.
Say that again, Stephen A. Smith.
But Tennessee Titans season's over. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Eat some crow, bro.
That's funny because Stephen A. and Keyshawn, they doubt us too. So that's wild.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're not the only people catching that and making them look bad.
Nah. Right. If you ain't the Chiefs, the Packers, the Buccaneers, or the Rams, they ain't gonna talk about you.
They ain't
gonna talk about you.
That's something we have in common, y'all. Like when it comes to not being one of like the media darlings or this super big market, it don't matter how good you are, they just not gonna talk about you.
That's right, dude.
So we gotta make them talk about us by both of our teams playing at an elite level.
Right. That's right, sir.
Shout out to Flimlo Sports, but he formerly Flimlo's Raps. I know he a big Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah.
Cool.
He a big Flimlo. Yeah, he
that's my boy.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, we'll take one more question, man. We'll take one more.
Let's see. The official, Ace, were you opposed to telling your team to allow Derrick to get a touchdown?
Nah, I mean, you're not going to just – come on. That's like me asking y'all, would you be opposed to telling your team to allow Jamar Chase to happen? No, you don't want to do that.
No, but they wild. That's bad. Shoot. So
cool.
See, one more question, or we're gonna
we'll go one more. Let's get a good strong question. So the Cincinnati says who they don't say like who they like who that like the Saints, right?
Nah.
Okay. Where'd that come from?
The Saints say who that. To be honest with you, I don't know the full story on it. I know Bengal Jim knows the exact full story. But Bengal Jim apparently knows the true story, and apparently who they started before who that. But the Saints, they say who that.
Right.
We say who they think gonna beat them Bengals. I don't think all they say is who that. I don't even think they even have a chance.
They say
who that say they're gonna beat the Saints. They say the same thing when the
say
Saints
that
were here. Yes, they do.
Oh yeah.
When they were here, we played them this year.
Nah, bro. They say the same exact.
Yeah, they've been saying that for years. Yes.
So we had this thing where like if you go to there's a whole longer version of it. Like it's like Cincinnati, it's like a whole song, and then like once you get to the end, that's when it's like who they, and then you do the who they chant. So most of the time you see it, you only hear the end of it, but like it's a whole song before that. But yeah, I didn't even know that the Saints do all of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, when they get together, that's what they sing, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yep. They do. They really do. I don't know if you want to take this. What you think? You think it's a good question to end the show with?
Let's see. If you could pull apart either team for your team, who would it be? If you could pull apart.
So what do you mean pull apart, Chris? Are you mean?
I think he's saying like a player or a part.
I'm not sure.
Because I definitely would be taking y'all D-line for sure. All them dogs y'all got over there.
Yeah, and we'll take those receivers.
Exactly. Sure would take them receivers. Yeah, take Burrow maybe too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the official, who y'all got for the Bills and Chiefs? Ooh, might end the
See, we in the luckiest spot, like being over on our side of the bracket, right?
Yep.
Them boys got to deal with each other over there. We only got to play one of them. So Man, that's a tough one, bro. Like,
y'all hear what ESPN is saying that should be the AFC Championship game. Y'all do. They have been
man,
saying that.
whatever.
They have been saying that.
Oh,
They some haters.
Yep, I know, man. I know it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Bills, Chiefs.
I mean, for me, I'm gonna go with where is this at? Is this in Kansas City?
In Kansas City. Now they beat them the first time in Kansas City, I believe.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm going Buffalo, man.
I would love Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo, I would love for that to happen if the Chiefs get eliminated in the second round.
Yeah.
So I definitely would want Buffalo to win. I'm going to say this, though, and it's probably kind of controversial. I'm not as big of a Josh Allen believer as everybody else. I feel like he's kind of up and down a lot. Like, I wasn't the biggest Josh Allen fan. Yeah. He's good, but he's inconsistent. Like,
right.
I can't go against
I agree.
Pat, even though Pat Mahomes isn't having the best year. And, like, obviously, now let's just keep it a buck. According to Pat Mahomes standards, he's kind of struggling this year. But I still can't go against Pat Mahomes in the playoffs and Andy Reid in that environment, too. Not taking anything away from Bills Mafia. I think if this was in Buffalo, I might even get him the advantage. But,
yeah,
I'm a hope. And I ain't going to be mad if I'm wrong about this at all. I'm a hope that the Bills win. But if I'm just being a sports fan, I think the Chiefs are going to get it in kind of a shootout.
Okay. So for me, and I agree with you on the Josh Allen take. I feel the same way about Josh Allen.
Yeah,
bro. Hawk could tell you, he is inconsistency, man. He's just inconsistent, but he's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
but
he's a good quarterback.
I can't go against the Chiefs at home, one, and this is a revenge game for them too because they lost to them in the regular season. Now that ultimately happened to us. We beat them in the regular season. That year we went to the FC Championship and they were out for blood, okay? Yep. And I just think the way they played Steelers, at first they were keeping it a game, but if you let that offense get going, it's a wrap. So for me, I'm gonna say the Chiefs, just for the simple fact I don't think Pat Mahomes is gonna lay an egg twice, just to the same team, and they play good at home. Now you catch them limping when you get them in a way, because I think most of them y'all beat them at the crib.
Yeah.
So
we beat them at our crib.
Yep. That's how you have to. If you want to beat the Chiefs, have them come to your crib and you have a good chance to beat them. But when you get an Arrowhead, it's hard.
Yeah, Arrowhead is different.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you all for joining in on the show, man. We, as always, y'all, we have a ball. We so much appreciate Ace again from New Stripe City, man. Hey, if you have not checked out his podcast, check out his podcast. And as well, too, hey, order your shirt or shirts. Order several shirts. Right. As you all see, Joe Burrow rocking the shirt. The shirt is dope, man. If you go to the website, we got that information as well in the description as well. Shout out to him as well on being interviewed here on television upon the shirts, man. Hey, it's awesome job. So, bro, anything you want to say about your show, bro?
Man, I just want to say, man, thank you guys for having me on. I was actually looking forward to this, man. I had a great time chopping it up with y'all last year, man. Was glad to come on. I really love what y'all are doing with the segments and the super chats. Yeah, bro. Y'all got me. I got to go back to the lab and switch it up a little bit and everything. But, man, you guys are doing great work here. Best of luck to y'all this weekend. Sir. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Absolutely. So, if you all want to check us out as well, you can check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly as well. We are on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. We have an Apple and Spotify podcast as well, too. Again, our subscriber count there has increased as well, too. We have a lot of downloads. We have shows on there as well, too. And we also have merchandise as well, too. You can go to teespring.com, teespring.com. You can get hoodies, socks, shirts, and even a cell phone case that I got right here. Right? Y'all see that?
That's fire.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That.
So we do have Yes, sir. So we do have merchandise as well. So check it out.
And support these guys, man, because the community is so important to have a community support them. So definitely be sure to help these guys out, man, because they are doing a great service to you guys, giving you quality content. The best thing you could do is support them and help grow the channel as well. You kind of contribute to that experience as well by doing that. So, bro, that's fire. I'm not even a Titans fan, and that's fire. Like, I'm gonna have to get some merch. Not this week. Gonna have to be after this week.
Cool.
But yeah, that's fire.
Hey, same here. I'm gonna actually cop one of them shirts, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Ace, Hey, appreciate you, brother, coming on the show. Like you said, last year, man, it was a ball. We had a ball, and
Yes,
again,
sir.
the chop up again. And then when we do ever play the Bengals again, hopefully, I know we don't play them next year, but
We
if
do play. I think we play them next year. Maybe
I don't
not.
know.
I think so. Okay, go ahead.
It's to be determined. But if so, hey, you know
Yeah.
you're more than welcome, brother. And like you said, this Ace is very knowledgeable about the Bengals. He knows his team from the to the top to the bottom, to the turf, to the field goal. He knows it, okay?
Yep.
So like you said, with us, support him, man. Go subscribe to his channel and check out his content. Bringing fire content and the community that he's bringing. And man, y'all doing some big things over there, bro. So once again, appreciate it. And once y'all do check us out in Ace and New Stripe City, hey, subscribe, cut your notification bells on, because when you do that, what happens is it lets you know when we go live and post any type of content on Spotify, Apple, anything like that. But once again, Ace, best of luck. Good luck Sunday. Hey,
Yes, sir.
it's going to be a good game. No matter what happens, bro, much respect to you, and we appreciate you coming on to the show and tighten up, baby. Let's take it out, Hawk.
Yes,
Facts.
sir. Yes, sir. And Jacques, as you always know what we do, man. Facts.
No paper.
It's over. It's over. It's over.
And they're 6-2.
Listen.
Hugely
This
disappointing.
is a debate show, and obviously we take different points of views. But when the obvious happens, you have to agree. There's nothing to debate here.
Right.
We'll discuss it a little bit later on the show. But Tennessee Titans season's over. Let's call it what it is. This is